Hey guys, welcome to Mental Detox episode 8. We are back with another video, and today we're going to talk about different parts about the country, but also how mental health has made its impact from another country to here, and just talk to someone who has great insight of that. So I'm looking forward to it. I hope y'all look forward to it, and I'm hoping y'all go check out the video. So I'm here today with Roger. And Roger, I met him at school at Charleston Southern. I actually learned that he is originally from Cuba. Cuba, if you don't know where Cuba is at, Cuba's on like this area of the map. And I felt like being from Cuba in America, there's severe differences in mental health. So I wanted to ask you, Roger, coming from Cuba, um, what part of Cuba do you live in?
I lived in Cuba in a countryside. It's like the city Pinar del Rio, just next to Havana. Pinar del Rio is to Charleston as Miami, and big city is to Havana.
Okay.
Just to give you an example.
Yeah, so being in Cuba, was it populated a lot or diverse, you think?
There is no much diversity in Cuba
Mhm.
because there is no people immigrating to Cuba. The situation in Cuba is pretty bad.
Yeah.
So there is no like economic situation that will attract people from other country to move to. So it's not a lot of cultural diversity like you can see here and in big cities like New York, Miami.
Yeah, so I heard that you actually moved here from Cuba at an early age. Can you list some of the differences from Cuba and here or even Miami that you experienced or seen coming here?
Difference in mental health issues.
Difference in mental health issues?
Yeah. First starting off of Cuba, I lived in Cuba for almost 18 years. I actually came to this country 1 month before becoming 18. If we look at Cuba, due to the economical situation, people tend to live together, families. Like for example, I used to live with my grandmother, my mother, my father. Everybody lived in the same house. Next to my house, there was another house with my uncles and cousin. In the same community, we have 15 members of the family living one next to each other, which I believe that family plays a big factor in mental health.
Mm-hmm.
Like having family always there close by, not like here or not like Miami, just because in this country things work a little bit different.
Yeah.
Like we don't live close to each other as we live in Cuba.
Oh yeah, of course.
And the freedom we have here and the multiple opportunities that keep us away from family and the hard work we have to keep up every day to keep succeeding sometimes doesn't give us as much time as we have in Cuba, because in Cuba there is not much that you can do.
Mm-hmm.
But one thing you can do in Cuba is spend time with family
Yeah.
all the time with family. That's what we do over there.
Mhm.
Family is big
Yeah.
in Cuba.
So I actually agree with you. I have family that lives in Arizona, have family that live in New York, and I'm in here in Charleston. So it's really hard to spend time with everyone because we're so distanced. And in America, that has been somewhat normalized. But I also want to go to me growing up in America. I had a bunch of mental health issues. And when I had those mental health issues, I was sent to behavioral health hospitals, and I was given drugs. I was given prescription drugs to cope and to get over how I felt on the inside. And I wanted to know, in Cuba, do the health professionals that you may go to, such as therapy or counseling, do they address mental health differently than they do in America?
Addressing mental health is pretty much a standard procedure
Okay.
in whatever part of wherever you go, like in Cuba.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not 100% familiarized with it, but it's a standard procedure everywhere. That's a government issue that everybody takes care of. Now, as I said, the fact that we are with family, the environment being more like less polluted and less factors for mental health issues, they play a big factor in less people being like going through the situation we go here. less stress factors. Healthcare in Cuba is 100% free. Education is 100% free. So as you can see, if somebody has an issue, they will notice it and they will go to the doctor because there is not a bill you have to pay as you have to pay it in here.
Yeah.
So they take care of it as its fullest. There is no guns, allowed in Cuba, so nobody has access to gun, and it's very difficult for people to have access to drugs. I found out what marijuana was when I came to this country. Somebody talked about it, and I saw it because in Cuba I never saw it myself. So as you know, like Cuba is very hard to get access to it. People get it as they get it all over the world, but it's very hard.
Yeah. So I actually agree with you. I do believe that mental health and health assistance should be free. When I stayed in the hospital, it was about $10,000 a night, and they require a 5-day stay at least. Most is 3-6 months, and it costed a lot because I was feeling suicidal. I was feeling depressed. But even here, I found ways to get over that mental health. Some were not healthy, but some were healthy. Whether that's socializing, whether that was drawing, coloring, painting, even hanging out with friends. When it came to Cuba and the people you know in Cuba, even yourself, how do you guys cope with your mental health besides family? What things do y'all do to raise your mood, your happiness, and just feeling a bad day? What do you do to have a good day?
Cuba is big for selling cigarettes, cigars, cigarette and cigars, but especially cigars. Cuba is they know it as the land of the tobacco cohiba. It's very popular in Cuba and very popular in here. So we pretty much deal with alcohol.
Okay.
We drink. We drink a lot in Cuba. It is not fancy drinks as they have it in here. It's like it's like the 90% alcohol that they use at the hospital. You mix it with water, ferment it, pass it through a process. Tell you this, it's very strong. That's how we cope with the stress in Cuba. We just drink, we smoke cigarette, and we spend time with family.
Yeah. So I heard you actually do salsa. I heard that you like to do salsa, and I heard that dancing is just something that could help someone's mood, or girls and boys and all genders. Do you think dancing had a big impact to how you felt on the inside a lot?
Yes. I always like to dance. There is a procedure that is called not a procedure, but I don't know how to say it in English. I'm working on it. But there is something that is called.
You just say
let's redo it.
Another question, the same question.
No, same question.
Okay. So I heard that you like to salsa a lot, and I heard that dancing is something that you yourself actually get enjoyment about. You enjoy dancing, you enjoy doing salsa, and it makes you, it puts you in a better mood. So how do you go about salsa?
Salsa is a big thing for me in my life. When I say salsa, I say dancing.
Mm-hmm.
I like to dance salsa, bachata, merengue, reggaeton. I like to dance. Usually people who know me here, they used to know me at first because I was dancing all over the school. When I get to this school, first semester in August 2020, I was the whole semester. I was dancing to the cafeteria. From the cafeteria, I used to go dancing to the gym. I was dancing everywhere I go.
Mm-hmm.
That was a big way for me
Yeah.
to feel attached to what I like and forget that I was out of my comfort zone in a different state where my English was not that good and I was having trouble communicating and meeting people. So I was pretty much listening to music all the time, dancing everywhere I go, and it's the same way I deal with it when I came to this country. I used to dance, and keeps me like attached to the things I love and to the things that we used to do in Cuba a lot.
Yeah.
Like, it's a little bit of that culture that we don't want to leave behind.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little bit of that thing that wherever you are, you dance, you hear the music, and you forget about everything around you,
Yeah.
and you for a moment believe that you're there, back in the place you love.
Mm-hmm.
And I came here to look for opportunity, to look for freedom, and I feel bad that I left, but I did it with the purpose of achieving success
Yeah.
in a country where you can actually achieve success. But yes, definitely salsa is a big positive reinforcement in my life.
Mm-hmm.
Keeps me going. Dancing keeps me going.
Yeah. So at the end of this, you're gonna have to teach me how to salsa, because I kind of want to know how to salsa.
Oh, we're going to teach how to dance salsa here at the school. We're just waiting for COVID-19
Yeah.
to get a little bit like less complicated. So we can actually start doing some salsa dance.
Yeah. So you were speaking on how healthcare is free in Cuba, and if you need help, you go to the doctor. You don't pay anything. You can't get guns. You can't get drugs. Or it's very hard to do that. Do you believe some of those systems in place in Cuba will do very well if they're placed in America? Do you think they will help more people?
Oh, God. That's a big question. I actually got that question asked before, like 2 semesters ago,
Yeah.
like last year. Somebody was doing a research project for a class, I believe in Spanish, and this person asked me to answer that question together with other questions. And I will tell you this: when it comes to mental health,
Yes.
I believe that that's something that should be less expensive than what it is, as it is with everything. Healthcare should be less expensive than what it is, but at the same time, that's how they get enough money so they can pay doctors in here enough to be a good reinforcement for them to go to school. Beside how much they love medicine, and for example, I'm studying nursing here in Charleston.
Okay.
One of the big reasons why I'm studying nursing is because it's a good job and they pay good.
Yeah.
I love it. But one of the main reasons is also because they will pay me good money, and they will pay me a good money just to do what I love, help people. But in Cuba, there is not much of a reinforcement. A doctor in Cuba can get paid like $40 a month. And a doctor in Cuba go to school for the same time they go here.
Yeah.
And they do as much as a doctor do here, and sometimes even more than what a doctor do here. A doctor in Cuba is more at the bedside than what doctors are in here. But when you look at it, you ask yourself why there is people studying medicine in Cuba if they don't get paid enough money, just about $40 a month. Well, they do it because they love it.
Yeah.
But you ask yourself, if they pay you $40 a month to be a doctor in here, would you become a doctor? So healthcare could be free here in this country, but at the same time, you have to pay a doctor a good amount so they can become doctor.
Yes.
So it's complicated because, I mean, like, there is a lot of bills in here that we don't pay in Cuba. Education is free in Cuba. We don't have to pay rent in Cuba. And we don't have much, we have very little. That's why we have very little, because we grow ourselves the stuff, like we grow our tomatoes, and then we grow our bananas. You have 5 bananas, I have 5 tomatoes. We do a trade. That's how we eat.
Yeah.
But it's complicated, man. Like, now, when it comes to mental health, it should be less expensive.
Yes, of course.
And the community should be more aware of how mental health issues has been like exponentially growing over the year.
Yeah.
We should be more aware of the situation, and they should definitely be a change in that big price. For example, you don't pay like $10,000 for 5 nights, right? That's a lot.
So I heard you actually moved to Miami for a few years, and I know that coming from Cuba even to the States, even when I go out of the country, there's a significant difference. When you first came to Miami, what were some of the few things that kind of stood out to you of like, oh, this isn't normal. In Cuba, we don't do this. What are some of the things that kind of stood out to you?
In Miami,
Yes.
yeah, people in general are very material.
Okay.
Like, money is a big thing in this country. The value that they give to the money here is way more than the value we give to the money in Cuba. And we care about the money everywhere in this world as we get in Cuba, but we have principles.
Yes.
We have way to do things. Sometimes those principles get a little bit blurry
Mm-hmm.
here with some people just because of the big interest they put on money and on material
Yeah.
items. You know, that's one of the big things that that changed a little bit my perception of this country. But I've been dealing with it.
Yeah. So being in Miami, was there anything that you enjoyed about Miami that you felt like, besides money and being materialistic, which I agree, I agree with you. I believe that we are materialistic. I believe that sometimes too much freedom, we become greedy. We become greedy of our choices, of what we do, and what we value. You know, I used to be very greedy of the things I had and not grateful. And I believe that when there's a bunch of freedom, there's less opportunity to show gratitude. There's actually more opportunity, but there's less of a chance of people actually showing gratitude, what they're grateful for. But being in Miami, was anything that you came here, that was just like, okay, I like that. I think I could enjoy that.
Yeah. Just recapping a little bit of that information. I said before one of the big reasons why I'm doing nursing is because I get good pay. You know. So that's what I mean when I was dealing with it. Is that I will go to school and study something that I do like
Mm-hmm.
and that pays me a lot.
Okay.
Money is needed to have a good life, but also to provide my future children with a good life, which is more important for me. Like it's not about how much money I want from me, but how much money I want so they can have the education
Yeah.
that I struggle so much to get in this country.
Mm-hmm.
About Miami, I love everything about it, with some exception. But if we are going to talk about the good things, I would say that there is a big Hispanic community in Miami,
Yeah.
especially Cubans.
Mm-hmm.
There is millions of Cuban in Miami, and if you go to a city called Hialeah, that's mainly Cubans. So it make you feel like you are in Cuba sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes you go to a place and everybody's Cuban. It's very hard to find somebody from another country. You will be like, wow, that person is not from Cuba. Yeah, that doesn't happen here in Charles. Having many Cubans here, but there are most of them in Miami.
Mm-hmm.
So that's one thing that I love, the Hispanic community. I love also that there is so many places where you can go and dance salsa.
Yeah.
That you can play dominoes, you can play baseball. I love playing baseball.
Okay.
I like to play baseball on the weekends when I have time.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of the big things I love in Miami. And also that there is many people from my neighborhood that they came about the same time I came. We do play soccer, we play baseball.
Mm-hmm.
We go out together. So
Yeah.
it's like Miami somehow takes me back to Cuba sometimes. And also I live close by the beach, so I just go to the beach at night and relax, which is something that I would like to do here when I have more time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so being from Arizona, I agree with you. I'm from Phoenix, and Hispanic community was very high. Phoenix being one of the biggest cities in the world, I can understand when you say that when you're around familiar people, it makes you feel that everything's kind of sense to you. Me coming here, we both moved to Charleston, and we both actually went to the same university. I'm happy that you got in, happy you got accepted, happy you're studying nursing. When it came to helping people, was nursing your goal all along? Was to come and study nursing at this school, or was nursing a career path you really thought of? Well, what's the way that I can help people and also make good money to support my kids and my family?
Nursing is an amazing way to help people.
Yeah.
It's also an amazing way to provide, financial stability for me and my family.
Mm-hmm.
And also, I do like a lot. I was in the hospital for a long time, and the way I was treated was very inspirational. That motivated me.
Okay. So now that you're here studying nursing, do you enjoy every bit of nursing you could get?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm here in the nursing program. I'm actually going tomorrow, Thursday, for my clinical.
Okay.
So I'm going to try the hospital,
Yeah. Okay.
work a lot. I'm ready for it. I'm excited.
Mm-hmm.
Want to get some practice, get my hands into it.
So me being Asian, as you could tell, as everyone could tell, I am Asian. When I moved here, even growing up in Arizona, there wasn't a lot of Asians. We kind of got looked differently upon because we were the minority. We were the minority of the minority. And do you ever feel like you get some of that to where people see you and then know that you're not white or you're not black, and you kind of get that feel of minority?
I mean, like you can never stop dealing with the look. You know,
Mm-hmm.
it's not about what people tell; it's what people don't tell.
Yeah.
Not people will always look like. When I came here, people will always look in a way like make you look like damn. What's going on? Do I
Yeah.
have something in my face? Yeah, because people are like, I saw the look sometimes, but man, I don't pay attention to that. Like one of the way I deal with mental health is ignore whatever you cannot control, which I cannot control how people look at me, and focus on what you can control is how I can deal with it. That's why I used to dance salsa, and that's why I'm always with my AirPods
Mm-hmm.
on. Everybody knows that I'm always with my AirPods. If I am in the cafeteria, wherever I am, beside the classroom, I'm always with my AirPods, listening to music, minding my own business. It's a good recommendation.
Yeah.
But I'm dealing with my stuff
Mm-hmm.
through music.
Yeah.
Through music is amazing. I'm listening to worshiping song. I've gotten very close to Jesus through music.
Mm-hmm.
I'm always listening to it, ignoring what I cannot control, focus on what I can work on, working hard, getting good grades, keeping my friends, you know.
Yeah, close.
And things that I cannot control is what people would think of me, but man, I don't pay attention to that.
Mm-hmm. So another thing is, I kind of want to get personal, I kind of want to get deep. I feel like we all have had our battles. I feel like mentally, with mental health, we have all fought a war. Whether that's with our minds, whether that's with our body, whether that's with just our feelings. Was there any points in your life to where you really had to fight that war?
Yes, every day. I came to this country. It was pretty tough to leave family behind. Then I came to this state and had to leave family behind again. And I love family, man. There is nothing more important for me than family. My brother used to tell me that he used to make fun of me because of the movie Fast and Furious, Toretto. And he said it's all about family. I'm a big family person, and it's sad because most of them not in Cuba, and a few of them are in Miami. I may be in here and not having enough time to communicate and to see them.
Mm-hmm.
I get lucky enough that I'm going in the summer to Miami, spend the whole summer with my family there.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, there is always a battle.
Mm-hmm.
Always a battle with myself, with the things I want in life.
Mm-hmm.
Always a battle in myself with the thing I can improve about myself. And I started working out at the gym on August last year.
Okay.
I started working out at the gym, and I started doing an amazing diet. I lost about 40 pounds.
Congratulations.
It was amazing. Thank you very much. That helped me a lot.
Yeah.
That helped me a lot because I'm definitely like that's a new way for me to deal with situations. You know, like I just go to the gym, put my AirPods, listen to my music, and when I'm there, that's just about it. You know, gym, and my life, and my problems, everything in my life disappear for that time that I am in there.
Mm-hmm.
So like working out is a good way for me to deal with the situation.
Yeah.
As it is dancing salsa, which I do after working out. I dance for about 20 minutes just to get a little bit of cardio done.
Okay.
And everywhere I go, man, every day, everything I do,
Mm-hmm.
always fighting those battles, trying to improve myself,
Mm-hmm.
working on my English.
Yeah.
That's a big battle.
But the English has gotten great.
Oh yeah, it has improved a lot.
And I kind of want to speak on when I was born, I had trouble with English too. I took speech therapy, elementary school, middle school, and even still now, I had trouble saying certain things.
Yeah.
But you shouldn't worry about how you talk, because it's not about how you talk. It's about the people that understand you.
Yeah.
And I always tell myself, there's people that understood me and people that didn't understand me. Some people that were just being mean, like say this, say that, like say this again. And I realized that the ones that understand me are the ones that care to listen. You know, if there's people like me, I can understand you perfectly fine. And someone that may not understand you, is someone you shouldn't talk to because they don't want to listen to you.
Yeah, they're probably not paying enough attention.
So I do want to say and ask you that you're in college studying nursing. You finish, you graduate, you get your degree. What are you doing?
I'm staying here. The main reason I came here to this school is to become a nurse anesthetist, and MUSC in downtown has one of the best nurse anesthetist program. Nurse anesthetics got an I did nursing in Miami, did my associate degree, but it was not accepted at the MUSC to keep my school there, so I was redirected here, so that's why I came here. And as soon as I'm done here, I'm going there. I'm finished what I came here for, nurse anesthetist. After I finish that, I don't know yet what I'm doing, if I'm staying or if I'm going back to Miami. That's a question that I don't ask myself yet, because it's not going to happen anytime soon.
It's about today, not tomorrow. So, but I also want to wrap this up, and I want to ask you personally, through everything you've been through all the hardship, through all the struggles, and just being separated from your family. I know that for me and everything I went through, I always learned something. I always tell people that God gives you blessings, and opportunities. And I wanted to ask you, to the audience watching, what's the number one piece of advice that you could give them?
That's a tough one. One of the person that I was most attached to, not to say that was the person that I was most attached to, number one in my life, that person was my grandmother. She plays a big factor on who I am and the good part of who I am. Everybody has its flaw. I have a lot of flaw in my personality, but the person who contributed the most in the good part of my personality was my grandmother. She died, she died in Cuba a couple of years after I left. Didn't get the chance to say goodbye. No, I was just pursuing, happiness and success. I left that behind, and that's something that I regret for my whole life. I cannot get over it. Sometimes I cry, and it's normal. Some things I would say to people is that family is a big thing. They will start making fun of me with family is a big thing, so don't forget to let them know how much you love them. But also, there is something you should love more than your family, and it's yourself. I like to say this: treat yourself as someone you loved. Treat yourself as someone you love is a big piece of advice that I will give everybody, because everybody has a reason. There is something that I heard in a speech, and it was that everybody has two birthdays: the day you were born and the day you find out why were you born, your purpose in life. And everybody has that why. Sometimes that why can motivate us to do stuff in life. Like, for example, I feel that my why is help people as much as I can. That's why I'm always talking to everybody. I speak a lot. Because always told me that in my whole life. Roger, you speak a lot. My whole family told me that in Cuba since I was a little kid, so I think that it's become a situation with me that I haven't stopped speaking a lot. Actually, here I'm speaking a lot now. But the big thing that I would say to the people out there is treat yourself as someone you love. And once you find out that why in your life, that why that keep you going, that wake you up in the morning, that way that help you deal with the stress, that way that gets you out of your problems in life, that way that tell you that everything is gonna be okay, which for some people and many people in this school is Jesus. So if that's your way, that's something that you need to keep in your mind very close when things are going hard. Also, treat yourself as someone you love, and when you're thinking and giving up, just remember why you started, and remember what's your why.
Yeah.
Work hard, don't quit, keep working hard.
So I love that. Before we go, you teach me how to dance, which you guys will see. I hope y'all take dancing serious. So if you do dance, continue doing it. But I agree with you. I feel like I always been a talker. You can ask anyone you know. I'm outgoing. I talk a lot, and I'm just an open person. What's my purpose? I'm not 100% sure, but I know whatever it is to help people. You know, I had struggled with mental health, and I feel like because everything I went through, it has built me to be the right person to help people, give them hope, give them strength to keep on pushing, and lead them towards their faith, but also lead them towards their purpose. Okay, so before we go wrap everything up, I kind of want to raise some awareness on abuse. Abuse could be physical, sexual, emotional, psychological, and mentally. And I feel like abuse is something that a lot of people go through, and I hope that everyone, one, you don't deserve it. I feel like a lot of people feel like they do, or they trick themselves into saying that they deserve this from that person that's supposed to love them. And I just want to raise some awareness about abuse. If you know someone being abused, just be there for them. They're scared, they're vulnerable, and they need someone just to make them feel safe. So if you know anyone, just remind them how much they mean to you and remind them of how strong they are. But with all that said, go watch us dance.
It's charging.
I want to get I want to get like good looking footage of this.
I need to take another picture of us. I think that'd be good.
Oh, well.
Can you hear the music there?
Mm-hmm.
So this music is a worshiping song in salsa.
Look here. Yeah.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, I like it.
You got it?
Yeah, I got it now.
So what are we doing now?
Just do that again.
Hey?
Just do that song again, like dancing and stuff.
No, but we don't have to speak about
You don't have to speak about it again now.
This is what I mean, man. Salsa, you can help people learn. And then in the future, you teach your friends how to dance salsa.
Oh, of course.
You see? You'll become friends with people with salsa. Go. Go. Little turn, a little turn, a little turn. Hey. Hey. I'm basic.
Yeah.
See, practice. This is about having fun, man. There's no better way to deal with situation in life than smiling, dancing, having fun, listening to the music you like. So, come to chapel.
So with all that said, that's Mental Detox episode 8. So toodles.